no nothing for do. Go for Facebook. We go see am for there. No man not there for house, not there for Facebook. All man there for Facebook. So people dey not come for inside the house. Thing the way they come out of Facebook, una the few people their phone name for there. All man they go Facebook. All man dey Facebook. So move stop, move focus on thing where you gather with for here. No messages on Facebook. Move talk on thing the way bring me for here. People in for there has enough and who also even make comments for something. Or then na only for the same photo, then send the one, send photo, send the one. We're not there for your photos. We're there for you to talk. How will we move forward? How will we make a change? Now isn't that way all who gather for here?
Yeah, my dear comrade, I don't hear your message. I think you underestimate what it take for build a family relationship. I only talk saying a way that we see them and the way we see them be fine. But you can forgive others their right for speak about things where they be concerned about. I know say plenty people vex when somebody talk about their leaders where they value them. But if you know begin discuss what be wrong with your leaders, how you go before. People they say if you not learn your history, you go repeat them. We don't go through where we did now, we don't make some big mistakes, and I true the talk. But if you check say we just get for stop for not discuss what the mistakes a day, and then we begin build to go, I know to understand how the mistakes we don't make in the past will inform your way forward if you know one discussion. I think all these things we discuss for this has to be important. Now, a good step forward. People where they look close enough for see what to be wrong, even with favorite leaders, they find when they bring them up because it's going to inform how we select leadership going forward. And leaders where they care for be good leaders, then to go learn from those things. So this thing we propose, say we just go forward. I know you see how you go if you go forward. Nobody go still go select some other person. And then the person will end up to repeat the same thing because you never learn anything. You never learn how to prevent that one from happening. And you know if you learn, if you know you discuss the things where they be wrong. Now you go say contribute money sent. Contribute money sent for where? I say even you say you never learn nothing about where we there and what we need for do for go for before. Now you claim everybody there for Facebook. The conversation would they get for inside here for forum like this one. Now family conversation, now inside house conversation. Any of you now when I carry this nonsense, go for Facebook, now people they be, I don't know, now people they take their dirty clothes, go wash them for public. Because I expect say we know enough for know the difference between those two social medias. I be very shameful. Say you go check saying I think so they give if they belong on Facebook, it'd be unfortunate. So I not get me no problem with people they can't discuss bad leadership so that they will be better leadership. I not get no problem with that at all. And I'm surprised if they get problem with that. But anyway, I struggle all we get the way we would see them and what we check say get for happen. I value your viewpoint, actually be good. But I also think that others they get their own way where they check so get for the go before and me I value them whether I like them or not, they get space for talk. May God go bless we worker for go before. Greetings, my people. This was amazing listening to the second part of this interview. And gave me a lot of mixed feelings, but nonetheless, it was nice to hear what happened in Canada from the CDN's perspective. Even though I've heard other perspectives from those who are participating directly, which may not necessarily agree with what the CDN is presenting here. But there were a couple again of misinformation, particularly when you begin to talk of the Swiss process as one that the government denied putting together. I think you just need to go on social media and you will find the facts. When the Swiss finally got the Ambazonians to engage, because they were the second party who had to agree for a process to start, they went ahead and announced right away because the government of Cameroon had engaged them for the talks. And when they announced, yes, all the other countries agreed to it, and as usual, as they did in Canada. But never did the government come out to say they were not in Switzerland. When they found out that truly Ambazonians had come to the table, they were hoping nothing like that would happen. They reneged on their commitments, and that went on until the president called the president of Switzerland to say they were withdrawing from the talks. So when you say what happened in Switzerland is same as what happened in Canada, I think that's not correct. That's a misrepresentation. You must remember that when the Ambazonians engaged in Switzerland, that brought about the national dialogue, which was created really to run circles around the mediation in Switzerland. That is public knowledge. We know when these things happened. And when Biya is leaving, you want an article, I'll send it to you or more. When Biya is leaving the talks in Switzerland, he's saying they will they will engage militarily and asking the international community to back their national dialogue. Don't forget that. If you are in this fight and you are not following through with what's happening in it, then you could keep repeating the same mistakes. And I think that's a mistake that the process in Canada refused to learn from. When the Canadians were engaged, and we're talking precisely about the ambassador, in fact, the cultural attaché, let me be precise, in Yaoundé, being engaged by the Prime Minister to ask for a favor. What was the favor? The favor was to help him, the Prime Minister, meet with Ambazonian groups that have forces on the ground. That was the first thing he asked for. And then the Canadians were able to convince them that the circle could be made wider. And then the Prime Minister wanted to chair that meeting, and the Canadians told them, if you go that way, you're not going to have anybody at the table. And they were willing to let the Canadians facilitate that meeting. We know that the initial plan was to bring, and they still ended up, some of them ended up in Canada, mayors, mostly Anglophones, with a few Francophones from his ministry who could speak English very well. That's the initial theme of the Canada meeting. And that is why groups who were able to ask the right questions and get the right answers recognized it right away. It was meant to continue to make it harder for Ambazonia, at least communicate the idea that the government is able to bring even the separatists to the table. and the government can successfully dialogue with them. That is the main reason the Prime Minister put that meeting together. It wasn't so that you go and mediate. The groups that went up there, and we had warned that they shouldn't go up there, when they found out what it was, they tried to make a mediation out of it. But initially, it wasn't a mediation. The Canadians made it very clear they were not mediating. It's when they went up there that they tried to convert this to a mediation. Okay, and so when you hear the CDN, who was part, at least the technical part of the meetings, and many of the groups that went up to Canada were groups that worked with them, coming here and telling us that the groups could not agree, that tells you that there was a lack of preparation. And I can blame that on the CDN, since they were the ones working with these guys. I think by the time you bring the opponent or a state actor to the table to meet with a non-state actor, you have to prepare the non-state actor. The Swiss spent years doing just that. And I think that if that was not done, you were simply bringing them together to fail. And I'm happy that the professor realized that, or at least highlighted the fact that that's typical of non-state actors. So those are some of the issues. So Canada, as the government rightly said, they were not in Canada, is correct. You know, by virtue of the Cameroon government's organigram or structure, that the Prime Minister's job is not international relations. That when it comes to international issues, it is the president or the foreign ministry. Anything that had to do with the Prime Minister, because he is an Anglophone and his job is always to bring the Anglophones in, that's the only reason you had Canada. To rule the so-called separatists back to La République du Cameroun. That's the picture that was painted, and it has given them amazing opportunities in the international community. And these are the very things we're warning about. The pictures you're giving these guys are destructive. So it doesn't matter what you were talking there, you were talking to the wall. There was nothing you talked out there that could end up anywhere. And the government came out and told you right away. Now, when you compare that with the Swiss process, that for years, the government never, even after the announcement and all, and the stoning, they never said they were not in Switzerland. Yes, you did have some ministers who were coming out and doing that, which is very typical of government sometimes. But the real people involved never